Hello everyone, this is Warren Blade. Today I'm going to explain why skeletonized folding knives suck. This particular example is the Buck 870 Bones. It's made in China. I got it a long time ago because I thought it looked cool and it looked tactical. I took it home and started using it and realized it's one of the most uncomfortable knives I've ever held. The main reasons this knife is uncomfortable are these irregular holes that were drilled in the handle, the overall thinness of the handle, and the frame lock tab here, which was beveled and jimped. When you hold this knife, that frame lock tab digs into your hand. If it was a little thicker, it wouldn't do that. On top of that problem, my fingers are drawn toward these irregular holes in the handle, whereas if it had G10 or some other material covering it, they wouldn't be inside those spaces. The main reason manufacturers are making these skeletonized knives are they think people want lightweight knives and they think that the skeletonizations look cool. Gerber makes their paraframe model, which has been the laughingstock of the knife world for a long time. I think the name is kind of funny. It implies it's being used by paratroopers. The paraframe. And then more recently, you have brands like CRKT making the Nurk Tiggy. It has an even more irregular design than this knife does. Generally, I find that the larger these skeletonizations and drilled holes are into the knife handle, the more uncomfortable the knife is. Your fingers, they just want to be around something that's flat or something that they don't go into. Which is why with fixed blades that are skeletonized to reduce weight, you can wrap them in paracord. You can wrap a folding knife in paracord, but it defeats the point of it being a folder. In theory, you could really tighten the pivot shut or Loctite it, making a folding knife into a dedicated fixed blade knife. But once again, that defeats the point of even having a folding knife. You may as well buy a fixed blade. I find that this paracord on this knife actually makes it much more comfortable to handle because it makes it just that much more thick from where it was, that it fills my hand and my fingers also are not being drawn into those skeletonization holes. When I take it off to use the action of this folding knife, it goes back to all the original problems that it had. For me, I don't find that the skeletonization holes in the frame are worth it as far as the loss of weight that the knife has and as far as the overall aesthetic. While I thought this knife was originally cool to look at in the store, I guess I learned the hard way that skeletonized knives really are not comfortable to use, and that's really what matters when you're using a knife, not necessarily how sexy these drill holes are.